Fuck it, let's just go live a little bit early, right? Let me just, everything's fine. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Levi Clay here, back again for another listening party stream. This should be a lot of fun, because I think we'll probably all be in agreement that this maybe isn't Ozzy's best album. Probably Ozzy's worst album. Well, obviously not including Ordinary Man, which is obviously his worst album. I'm getting some clipping on my mic, so let me do this. Hello. That's a little bit better. Yeah, we'll go with that. Cool. Everybody should be able to hear me okay. Do let me know if there's any problems with the noise gate that I have on my voice. It should be okay. I've been toying around with it a little bit, but yeah, problems can happen. Right. So I also want to say this stream isn't brought to you by, but I want to say a huge thanks to my friends over at Hoser. So Hoser deal in high quality cables. Let me give you their website. Yeah, it's hosertech.com. HOSA-tech.com. TECH. Hosertech. I have been having audio problems with my system for a while, shielding problems on a lot of my previous. Doug Cartwright is online. One of my best friends in the world. I love this guy. I've not seen him in too long, and now seems like as good a time as any to come and visit, right, Doug? Yeah, so friends over at Hoser, I've been having audio issues. People were commenting on a high-pitched electrical hum that was in my videos, and I was starting to suspect it was a cabling issue, and no matter what I did, I couldn't deal with that. So my friends over at Hoser had reached out and offered to send me some cabling stuff. They sent me some cables, and some of them showed up today, and although I didn't get the lengths of the cables right that I told them I needed, I've put two of the XLRs together, and the hum is gone. It is completely gone. So I am in such a good mood today. Although the world is falling apart, I am in such a great mood because of this Hoser thing. So yeah. Doug, you should. Why don't you? I mean, you say you're on the way. I doubt you are coming. Though of course you're welcome. But we should talk during the week. Why don't we do one of these listening parties together? You can come on. I can have you on the stream. It's easy to get you on, and I'm sure we've got plenty of things that can be said about Ozzy, right? Zach Wild. Although the next one, of course, is Scream, which doesn't feature. Anyway, let's take a look at who is online, and we will talk. This album definitely isn't Gypsy. Let's see who's online. We'll say hello and we'll do the stuff. So Dominic bought this album when it came out. I think he only listened to it once. I got this album when it came out. It's not as good as I'd liked it to be. Hello, Magagaylol. Magagaylol. I see what you've done there. Yep. Marty V, how's it going, man? Joe Clifford. He comes with an open mind. Yeah, so Joe, we had such a great time with Joe on the last stream because he entered into what was the album? Down to Earth. He entered into that album saying, this is garbage, not interested in this album being good, and actually he changed his mind a little bit by the end of the stream because we went into it with an objective listen. And I'm hoping that maybe I'm going to do the complete opposite on this one. I'm going into this album expecting it to be bad, or expecting it to not be good, and I'm hoping that with an objective listen, I'm hoping I enjoy it more than I think I will. But I will be very objective about it. I know that there are definitely moments on this album that I really enjoy, and I know that if there are moments I enjoy and I can't remember any of the rest, it's probably not that great an album. But we shall see, won't we? Scott Cassidy, how's it going, bud? Muzzy Muzz, what's up? Yeah, more Ozzy, nearly the worst one. I think this might be the worst one. Oh no, sorry, the latest one, Ordinary Man's worst. Dominic's on the toilet with his phone, so can't listen along. That's a shame. Well, we're gonna talk. If your farts can sound like Zach Wild's pinch harmonics, I am very impressed. Elite Combat Fitness Central says he agrees. He thought that he would let Gus G take the reins on the songwriting, maybe bring Ozzy's music to a different level, but nothing but entry. That's obviously Scream rather than this album. Good. I would like to have you on, Doug. Gus is great. I should point out for anyone wondering, Gus G doesn't play on this album, on Black Rain. Zach Wild is playing guitar on this. So don't get confused. His solo album after Ozzy sounds like the songs he intended for Ozzy. Better than anything Ozzy released in a long time. Yep. Frank, how's it going, Frank? Doug's not listened to this since he used to drive to Poole College to do music BTEC, and he had it on CDR. Remember, my favourite track on this turned out to be a bonus track. Yeah, so for anyone that is new to these streams, these listening party streams, there is a link in the description. You head on over to that link. It will take you to Spotify. I use Spotify as my streaming app of choice, but if you would like to go and check out it on your streaming app of choice, be that Apple Music or Tidal, or I don't know where people are streaming music. Maybe you're old school like me and you have it on CD and you want to listen to it on CD. That's absolutely fine. I won't be playing the music over this stream because that wouldn't be fair use. That would just be straight up copyright infringement. I don't believe in that. That's bad. So I won't be doing that. But yeah, you can absolutely access this via some sort of streaming platform. I'm going to tell you when we're going to press play. We're going to stream it together. We are going to listen to it. We're going to talk about it. And I'm going to be super objective. Tell you the things I like. Tell you things I don't like. Point out things that were cool. Point out things that could have been better, etc. Like my opinions matter. But I love your input, guys. So if you want to listen along, please do. Please contribute. Get involved in that comment section. I'm reading them as and when they come. You guys make these streams what they are. So yeah, speaking of you guys and making these streams what they are, I have probably now more so than ever want to say a huge thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. You know, we are in trying times. The UK is starting to go into lockdown. We've shut down all of the pubs, clubs and bars today. People are being fired from jobs. Like, we are in very uncertain times at the moment, and I don't like, a big part of what I do is crowdfunded. And I love the financial support that I've had from people over the years, right? Let me be super clear about this, right? While I appreciate your support, I don't need it. I want it. It's helpful. But if you've got your own problems in life, deal with them. Don't worry about me. I want you to still tune into my streams and have a good time. I want you to be involved in my videos and be part of the community, but not feel obligated, okay? I've had a bunch of people that have had to leave Patreon, and I know they feel bad about that, and they absolutely should not. We've got to look out for ourselves first. Then support content creators. Obviously, I think the first people that were hit really hard by this coronavirus thing was people that had their entire livelihoods wiped away overnight. Teachers were obviously struggling because people aren't visiting them anymore. People that tour, that has all disappeared. I'm semi-okay because, of course, I've got a reasonable online presence and I've not put all my eggs in the one basket, if you like. Remember back in the day when people used to tell me what it is to be a real musician? I should get a gig. What are all those guys doing now? Are they trying to be like me? I don't mean to be smug, but yeah, you know, let's move forward. Let's be better, and let's make this community what it should be. But don't worry too much about me. The community is made by you being involved. But a huge thank you to these people that are still sticking around on Patreon. There is a link in the description if you'd like to check me out on Patreon. You can support me for as little as $1, or you can, you know, pay more and you get more. The more you contribute, the more you get. There's also a link to my PayPal donation button, and there is also a button next to the subscribe button that says join. You can join my YouTube VIP thing, which I see All of Your Dreams is on, because he has a nice little badge next to his name. So thank you for that continued support. Same with books. Again, this is probably not the right time in life to be buying lots of books. Maybe when we're all in quarantine and you're locked away in your house and you have nothing better to do, then I would recommend a book. But as it currently stands, sales on books are down about 50%. So terrifying times. Don't really know how I'm going to pay my mortgage, etc. But if you would like to check out one of my books, head on over to Amazon and have a look for Levi. Right, with all that horrible sales pitch shit out of the way. Sorry, I have to do it. It's how I feed my family. Let's talk about Black Rain. Black Rain, Ozzy Osbourne's 10th solo studio album by British heavy metal by British heavy metal vocalist Ozzy Osbourne. It was released on the 22nd of May 2007 on Epic Records. It is Ozzy's last album to feature guitar player Zakk Wylde and drummer Mike Bordin, and the first to feature bassist Rob Nicholson. Black Rain debuted at number 3 on the US Billboard 200, selling about 152,000 copies in its first week, making it Osbourne's highest debut to date. The album has been certified gold in US. Someone phoning me somewhere? 2 seconds. Let's bring Sean up on video. Sean? Say hello, you're on a live stream. What are you doing? Are you having a disco? Are you in a disco? Oh, he's gone. No, he's gone. Fuck it. I'll message him. He's going to be raging about that. Sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, Black Rain. This album was released in several different versions. The original US version was released in a thin brown digipack. Oh yeah, I remember that. With a crowned skull Ozzy logo. Why is he phoning me again? Fuck. Problem solved. Thanks for the support, Joe. Very much appreciated. In fact, I have a policy for people that super chat me. I forgot that's another way that you can support the channel. You get made a moderator on the channel for the stream if you support me with a super chat. So welcome to the club. Sorry, where was I? Pictured right, yeah. As for the rest of the world, it is released in a standard jewel case featuring the cover of Ozzy Osbourne with the black rain falling. Cover included a booklet complete with lyrics and album credits. The US version did not include a booklet, lyrics, or album credits. The Japanese release was the same as the other releases outside of the US, except for the fact that it included 2 bonus tracks, I Can't Save You and Nightmare. The iTunes release of the album included the aforementioned Nightmare plus an exclusive bonus track, only for those pre-ordering through iTunes, Love Is Hate. It also included a printable PDF file of the booklet, complete with lyrics and album credits. Same booklet was later made available as a free PDF download from the Osbourne's website on the 1st of June. The song I Don't Want to Stop was also featured as the theme song for WWE's Judgment Day 2007. You get the idea, right? So, under reception, Black Rain received mixed reviews. Rolling Stone referred to the album as highly skippable, and Sputnik Music called it quite embarrassing. All Music was somewhat less harsh in its assessment, giving the album 3 out of 5, with and noting that nothing on Black Rain could really qualify as an Osbourne classic. It did get a lot of licensing use, so WWE used the song I Don't Want to Stop as the official theme tune for Judgment Day in 2007. He performed on Jimmy Kimmel Live for the album, second annual VH1 Rock Honours, performing 3 songs. Appeared on BBC One's Friday Night with Jonathan Ross, performing I Don't Want to Stop. Performed Not Going Away on Spike's Scream Award ceremony. I Don't Want to Stop was also featured in the video game Guitar Hero on Tour, which was a DS version of Guitar Hero. I had it. And on Madden NFL 2008. It's also featured as DLC for Rock Band and Rock Band 2 in the Osbourne pack. And yeah, I Don't Want to Stop is used as the opening bumper music on the Boomer and Geo morning drive sports talk program on WFAN. So, there you go. That's all there really is to say about the album. Not one of Ozzy's best, as I'm sure we'll find out, but yeah, you get the idea. So, Doug said the Japanese version had the best song to his recollection, and that was the one that was called I Can't Save You and Nightmare. So, Nightmare was also on the iTunes release. And you know what? Neither of those songs are on the Spotify release, even though they are the expanded edition. So once we get to the end of this, I'm interested to hear those, so I will go and listen to them on YouTube. I'm sure I'll be able to find them. So, yeah. Before doing this, I'm going to do the usual thing, right? These streams are so much fun when you guys get involved. So any thoughts that pop into your head, anything whatsoever, you get it up in that comment section. You let me know. I'm happy to read comments. I'm happy to talk with you guys. But also, get other people involved. If there are people that you think might enjoy these streams, might enjoy taking their mind off of everything that's happening in the outside world just for a little bit, get them involved. Share this on Facebook. Share it on Reddit. Share it on Twitter. Share it on Instagram. Get them around. I promise you guys, the more people that watch these, the more fun they are. You will start having conversations with people in that comment section. Get to start knowing people, which is cool. This is how we sort of get to know people. So James Taylor says, don't think I've heard more than a couple of songs from this album. And Justice 100 Forward says, this is not a bad album. Well, I don't think Ozzy has any bad albums. But on that note, let's give people a rundown, because obviously I've listened to every single one of the Ozzy albums in order on a listening party stream. And in my mind, I'm sort of starting to order them in order of best to worst, okay? And last time, it was quite controversial. It was very controversial, actually, because we listened to What's the last album called? Down to Earth. We listened to Down to Earth, okay, and I actually rated it higher than No Rest for the Wicked. So let me give you my criteria for what I'm really rating this on. What I'm really rating it on, in terms of the best to the worst, is nothing. It's not about objectivity. There's, of course, I'm talking my favourite, right? I'm imagining that an alien lands on the planet, or somebody comes to you and they've never heard of Ozzy Osbourne, have no idea who he is, and they say to me, "Hey Levi, I've never heard this Ozzy Osbourne guy. Can you give me a list of his albums to listen to?" Okay, and that's where this list comes from. So at the top, the first album that I would give anyone who's never heard any Ozzy Osbourne would be Diary of a Madman. I think that's Ozzy's best album. It's got a great, consistent theme throughout the album. None of the songs sound out of place. There's some really cool guitar playing on it. Ozzy's performance is great. Yeah, good album, good songs. Underneath that, Osmosis. That's a shocking one, but it's one of my favourite Ozzy albums. Evidently my second favourite Ozzy album. I think it might be my favourite, but I think Diary of the Madman is more important. But yeah, Osmosis. That would come second. Third would be No More Tears. It's a great album, really is. The first 5 songs are all absolutely outrageously good. I feel it drops off a little bit as it continues on, but you get the idea. Underneath that, number 4 would be Blizzard of Oz, Ozzy's debut album. Great album, don't get me wrong, has a lot of good songs on it, but it's lacking in theme. It sounds like somebody releasing their first album and they're not sure what their sound is going to be. There's some metal, there's some blues rock, there's some neoclassical, there's some more, like almost jazzy stuff on the song Goodbye to Romance. It's not as consistent in terms of theme, but it is a good album, got some great songs on it. Underneath that, believe it or not, was Down to Earth. Down to Earth. I actually put Down to Earth above No Rest for the Wicked. And that was for simple reasons, right? It does contain a lot of good songs. There are some good songs on that record. It's never going to be one of Ozzy's best, but it's consistent. It is so consistent from start to finish. If you think of Ozzy, or at least what I think of when you think of Ozzy, I see a man with long dark hair, wearing all dark clothes, the Prince of Darkness, right? And that album steers into that. It is the Prince of Darkness. It's consistent. It has that throughout. After that, I put No Rest for the Wicked, which was the first album to feature Zakk Wylde. Don't get me wrong, it is a great album. There's some really good songs on there, but theme-wise, it's a little bit all over the place. And there's some songs on there that I'm not crazy on. I thought I used to be, but actually growing up, Tattooed Dancer, I don't think is actually that good. Demon Alcohol is not great. There are some good moments, but yeah, not my favourite. Then, The Ultimate Sin, the Jake E. Lee record. It's cool. Again, theme-wise, it's a little bit all over the place for me. There's too many songs singing about rock. We rock, rock, rock. Shut up. It's embarrassing. Write better lyrics. And then outside of that, there are songs on there that are political, talking about nuclear war. Like, come on. Are you trying to make anthems for teenagers, or are you trying to make political rock songs? Theme-wise, I'm not too sure about it. And then at the bottom, and I never thought I would say this. I never ever thought I would say this. Bark at the Moon. Ozzy's worst album. Black Rain might be worse, but Bark at the Moon. Don't get me wrong. Bark at the Moon has got one stormer of a song on it. Absolute stormer. The song Bark at the Moon is one of Ozzy's best songs ever. I also really like the song Slow Down. But outside of that, that album has way too many ballads on it and way too many obnoxious keyboard parts on it. So, yeah, call it controversial. I really don't care. That is genuinely how I feel about things. Let me see what my wife is saying to me on Facebook. If I can get Sean to come on this stream. Do. Right, so what's going on? Levi, you will make me buy an EMG loaded Les Paul. I'm becoming a Zakk fanboy. Dennis, right, that's cool to hear. I am honestly, after I do finish the Ozzy albums, I don't know where I want to go next. I don't know what albums I want to start streaming and talking about, right? Part of me is really, really wanting to do Black Label Society stuff because I'm a huge Black Label Society fan, right? And there are some really, really good moments in the Black Label Society catalogue. Well, I say Black Label, I actually mean just the Zakk Wylde catalogue because the Pride and Glory album, that's also great. There's some killer playing on that too. I am a massive, massive Zakk Wylde fan, but don't worry, I don't own a Les Paul with EMGs in it. I don't own a Zakk Wylde guitar. I've always wanted one, but I don't own one. Zero says that I forgot how much I enjoyed a lot of Osmosis until the live stream. Yeah, that's the point of these streams, man. Have I already forgot about Ordinary Man? Are we not counting that? No, good point. Fair point, okay? I did forget about Ordinary Man because that was the first listening party I did. All right, that one goes at the bottom. That album was an absolute turd. There is one good moment on it, and that's Little Green Men. I thought Little Green Men was pretty good. I thought that was a good Black Label song. Very good Black Label. Sorry, good Black Label song. Good Ozzy song. Sorry, I just saw someone wrote Black Label and I read Black Label. Would be... Try that again. I thought that was a good Ozzy song. It sounded like classic Ozzy. But outside of that, I didn't think it was good. So yeah, I did forget it, but maybe because it's so bad. Pete Hawthorne says, wonder if Ozzy was too fucked up to even notice the obnoxious keyboards at the time. You know what? I'm not sure if those obnoxious keyboards were on the original mix or if they were sort of put that way in the later remix or remaster. Because I certainly don't remember them being that obnoxious. In fact, I listened to it in my car semi-recently, and then I did the stream, and someone commented on the keyboard parts, and some of them, like, almost, I don't want to say hurt my ears, but basically hurt my ears, because they just came out of nowhere, and they were really in your face, and I certainly didn't remember that. So if we've got someone else saying, please do Black Label Society, I mean, I'm probably going to do Black Label Society. I've been listening to Sonic Brew in the car, and there are some fucking ridiculously good guitar playing on that album. There really is. So yeah, Doug's obviously right. Ordinary Man doesn't count. Eric Jackson, how's it going, man? All is well. James Taylor owns a Zakk Wylde Vertigo Les Paul. Definitely your favourite Gibson. James, are you near me by any chance? Because I would love you to come over. I know you're supposed to be social distancing, but I would love to play it. What do I think of the Speak of the Devil live album? So the Speak of the Devil live album was a cover album, wasn't it? It was Sabbath songs. I listened to it a little bit when I was younger, but I was never a Sabbath fan growing up. So it's not an album that I put a lot of time into because that's not really what I want to hear when I listen to Ozzy. I know that sounds crazy to some people, but I want to hear Ozzy playing Ozzy songs. The only exception to that rule would be the cover of Children of the Grave that's on the Tribute album, because there's a couple of extra notes that Randy added to the riff in that I thought made it really cool. So, yeah. I decided, when I was doing these Ozzy streams, I couldn't possibly do all the live albums as well, because we'd be here for all time. And although I am having a lot of fun with these, we're getting to the tail end of Ozzy's career here, and I don't want to be spending all of my time doing these damn Ozzy albums. I want to do other things. I want to move on to other artists. So, one last warning, guys. In the description, there is a link to this album on Spotify. Get it queued up wherever you listen to this album from. I'm listening to it, Black Rain, on Spotify, but if you want to use... not close, that's a shame. So if you want to use Apple Music or however you want to stream albums, do it. Queue it up. We're going to start it in the next minute or so. Paul says, I always wondered why Bark at the Moon was the only song they ever played off of that album until the live stream. Yeah. So I actually learned some things with that. Like, I talked about the song Slow Down as being my favourite. And someone, was it you, Paul? Someone certainly said that Slow Down wasn't on the original vinyl, on the record release. And I thought that can't be right, because it's not the last song on the album. It's like track 6 or 7, like it's in the middle of the album. But I checked the vinyl and it isn't. That song wasn't on the original vinyl pressing of the album. So that seems crazy to me, because I like that song. It's got some obnoxious keyboards on it. Slow down, you're moving way too fast. And then you get the ba-da-da-da-da-da on the keyboard, which is really obnoxious. But it's a strong melody, so I like that. Anyway, I've not played one of the new Zakk models, so I was going to say we'll see, but I probably won't play one. Right, I have this album queued up on Spotify. It is ready to go. Here it is. So I'm going to keep this up for most of the time we are online, so you can see everything that we are doing. You can see the last time I was on Spotify was listening to down to earth. So we're just continuing on with more Ozzy Osbourne. I'm definitely going to come out here as being one of Ozzy's biggest fans after this. I'm currently listed in the top 2% of Brad Paisley fans based on my Spotify listening, which is funny because I own all those albums on CD. I didn't think I listened to them that much on Spotify, but evidently I do. Oh, and Marcel earlier, I missed the comment. I missed Sean also saying that Black Label are king. So Marcel, isn't it? The Pro Towel Waver. Go to Chinese Democracy after the Ozzy album, please. It's a difficult one, man, because I feel if I'm going to do that, I have to start with Appetite and go through all of them. But I don't actually like a lot of the Guns N' Roses albums. I know that's offensive to people. My favourite Guns N' Roses album is Appetite for Destruction, followed by Chinese Democracy. So I feel that maybe if I did Appetite for Destruction and then Chinese Democracy, that would be acceptable, semi-acceptable at least. I know Doug Cartwright is a fan of Chinese Democracy as well. Sean Lane Listening Party seems... it's doable. People always talk to me about Sean Lane, but I'm not the biggest Sean Lane fan, believe it or not. Anyway, hopefully you've got this album queued up. I'm going to press play in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Instant Zakk Wylde, isn't it? It wasn't as loud as I thought it would be. Vocal harmony, I like that. Okay. I quite like the music, I like the riff. Something about the mix. Yeah, I smiled when the vocal harmony came in. I want more of that. I think the vocal production on the previous album was better than this. This is a Zakk Wylde in full on Black Label mode, isn't it? Da, 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 da. It's crazy. I'm not going away. I'm not going. Those pinch harmonics are just gloriously good. Random pickup changes in that bend. Zakk really got into that lick for a while and aside from that tritone lick, that wasn't a bad solo. That was kind of cool. Going now. I'm not going away. I actually feel the opposite, Joe. I feel the vocals are a little bit hidden. It's like the band is a little bit too in your face. I don't dislike the song though. I don't know if I'd put it on a best of. And to be fair, so far, it's the best song on the album. Also, that vocal harmony, it doesn't sound like Ozzy sung that. It sounds like someone else. Okay, fine. Good solo. Yeah, I remember this. Cookie cutter stadium metal here. Good riff. Got the Zax in there. Yeah. Giving Ozzy a little bit more space to sing over. So a comment that I've often made about Ozzy and his vocal production is he tends to double track his vocals. And what I've noticed is later on in his career, like here, because of the auto-tune, it doesn't have that same effect anymore. You can't double track this vocal. But baby, Sharon won't let me stop. You know what I mean? Like if you listen to an older Ozzy album, they'll be doubled there. Sounds like that's been double tracked, but then it's been auto-tuned, so the lines are too close for it to sound like a doubled vocal. And this sounds more like a gang vocal than a something that's been sung. That's what I mean, Marty. It doesn't thicken it. It's like it makes two lines that would have thickened it so similar that it sounds like a mono vocal. And I found that with Ordinary Man. It's like he didn't double track any of the vocals because it wasn't an option. Yeah, this was the only song he was playing from the album. And Doug probably doesn't remember back to when we first met. We obviously will have been talking about these albums over the years. I've maintained that The Almighty Dollar is a good song. I like it. Don't like that lick. All right, Eddie. That's an observation I've made from listening to all these Zach albums. The amount of times he does that bend tap thing is insane. There's a keyboard part here, but it's not offensive. Not offensive. Uh, I kind of like the riffs in that, but I think Not Going Away was probably a bit better. But they're both basically the same song, aren't they? Not Going Away and I Don't Want to Stop is, I know I'm getting old, but I'm just going to keep making music. I don't want to stop, I'm not going away. Remember, nothing will be as bad as the new album where he says, I'll make you defecate. That bell sound, this is so Black Label Society. Oh, that's not even. It's like harmonics. I can imagine someone with a mallet, like a sledgehammer hitting a bell. That's why it needed harmonica. It's like Black Label Society meets Pride and Glory. I don't hate it. I don't hate it, actually, you know? Feels like a Black Label song. Black Label Society song, though. Like Peddlers of Death. Needs to be a bell. Dong! Hello. It's Tom Morello. You kind of half there, Joe. It's not necessarily that it's a soundtrack for a biker series. It's that this is all Zakk Wylde and heavy. This is 2007, so what will have Black Label have released at this point? This is like just before Order of the Black, maybe. A keyboard solo. Get rid of that. I completely forgot about the Black Label album Shot to Hell. Wow. Yeah, this is just after Shot to Hell, and it sounds like that. Hello, where did that come from? He's tuned down to be there. Is that like that? Down to A. A low A there. That is a shit keyboard solo. Why was that there? And what was up with that riff at the end? Like, and it didn't do anything. It just played it a couple of times and it ended. Oh, keyboard vocals there. Oh, monks. Oh. I don't doubt that for a second. Just as Sharon sacked Zach after this album, saying it sounded too much like a Black Label Society album, not an Ozzy album. Who would have thought that when you don't write your own music and you have other people write it, that their music that they write would tend to sound like the band that they write for? I don't think Zach was fired, though. I don't believe that. Right, fucking burn this song. A fretless bass. That's a programmed bass, or that's MIDI, I think. Something about that fretless bass doesn't sound right. I think that's played on a keyboard. Well, this song's a turd. Hello, Robert. How's it going, man? If only you didn't show up during such a shit song. But you got here before the Almighty Dollar, which is my favourite song on the album. I can take the weight. Oh, it's pain, not weight. Sorry, it's weight, not pain. 3, 2, 1, skip. We just skip to the next album. For me, this album is the point where Ozzy is beyond capable of singing without serious support from a producer. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think Zach probably declined working with, wanted to go and do his Black Label thing, because Black Label, they're big, they are very popular. Hello, Archie Petro. How's it going? Good evening, Simon Hannah. All are safe and well. Look at the writing credits for this. Take the weight. It's written by Osborne, Wild, and Churko. Yeah, Churko is credited as additional Pro Tools, Kane Churko, and he's got writing credits on every single song. Take from that what you will. Okay, this song is the best song on the album because of the chorus. Listen very closely to the vocal harmony in the chorus. Listen to the harmony that it outlines. Listen to the fact that it's more than just a rock song. It's very cool. Takes you in a very a direction you're not expecting. This bass line reminds me of Believer. Building up. Again, just give this chorus a fair shot. How could they screw us all over? Now, if I re-recorded that chorus without that vocal harmony on it, it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be a good chorus. That vocal harmony makes that chorus. It adds enough to the harmony, to the overall implied harmony, plus the arrangement technique of the fact that we have a very empty verse that builds up to that big chorus. That's a really good chorus. Song's a little bit cheesy, but again, just pay attention to that high vocal harmony. I'm going to need to sing it. Watching the rain come down. Now, where's it go? Head away, da, da, da. Da, da, da. Oh, drops down there. I need to transcribe that. It's a really cool. Da, 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 da. It's slick. I really like it. Sorry for butchering that, but I'm gonna sing it for the last chorus, but I'm gonna turn my mic off so you don't have to hear it because I love this chorus. Super new metal. He's tuned so fucking low there. Oh, keyboard solo. I forgot about this. Ruined the song. How did you fuck it all up that bad? It's unfortunately it's like these arrangement choices here where that stupid keyboard solo and this middle section, like this stops it from being a great song and just makes it an all right song with a very good chorus. Hello, Beatles. I agree with Paul on that. It doesn't sound like an Ozzy song. That middle section didn't need to be there. Watching the rain come down. Turn your head away Got it. Brock Lesnar ruining everything as usual. It does. It does what I consider to be the ultimate sin, excuse the pun, of good songwriting, which is when you have a chorus that good, give me a double chorus at the end of the song. Give me a double chorus. I need it. I fucking need it. Really nice chorus. I really like that chorus. I'm just going to keep gushing over that chorus. Bumblefoot song, good. There's a man. Yeah, they did, Joe. They were both on the last album, Down to Earth. They both played on that. But they didn't write it together. So I like this. It's not an Ozzy song, but vocal harmonies on that though. Now, how much better would that last song have been if there was a Zakk Wylde solo on it? That's what a keyboard should be doing on an Ozzy album. It's just pad. It just fills out the, just gives it a bed of harmony. There's actually a lot going on in that guitar part. He's not just going ba-da-da, ba-da-da. Towards the end of it, it's but it's so low in the mix you barely hear it. So far, the only guitar moment on the album, solo-wise, that was cool was "Not Going Away." Even that, he kind of ruined it with the flat five, Zakk flat five lick. Hello. How not Zakk was that first part? That sounded like somebody who imitates Zakk. That fast part, it was way too tight to be Zakk. I liked it though. I thought it was much cooler when he kicked into the mono part with the wire on it. Did anyone else hear that? Was that the last song? In Ozzy's Brummy accent. Was that the last song? I like that. That's a cool riff. Z flat. Same thing, doubled vocals, but they're auto-tuned. Marty, you can always skip ahead and catch up to where we are. You can see where I am in the stream at any given time. See, I'm on Civilize the Universe at 1 minute 12 seconds. To me, this album it suffers from like Metallica's Saint Anger syndrome, which is Saint Anger's not a dreadful album. It's just not a great Metallica album. The songs on this, they're not bad. They're just not Ozzy songs. It's this weird, very weird to me to hear actually, because you can tell Zach's influence on this and his writing influence on this, but it's a lot more modern. It's got influences of like that tremolo, the stutter effect on that. It's just not. You'd never hear that on a Black Label song. Some of the electronic influences that are being brought in. It's not Black Label. It's like this weird bastardization of it. I do like the song. Vocal harmony, that helps. There we go. I just remember my amp's actually on. Oh, I unplugged myself. I can't. Ooh. There was some cool stuff in that solo. It's okay, Tailed. You can see where we are. You can catch up. There's it sounds like an Ebo with Zach with a very high like on harmonic mode. That's really cool. Sounds like it's panned right. I actually remember the song Trapdoor. Now I see it there. Oh no. We all know what's coming now. Oh, don't you just love those synth strings? MIDI strings are the best. Tell me you couldn't afford a fucking string section. Someone should be fucking fired for those synth strings. Actually fucking fired. See, normally I'd say, yay, vocal harmonies. It's not enough to save it. Fucking Ozzy ballads. Let's take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. Because right now I don't want to listen to this song. I want to say a huge thank you to you wonderful people that support me, especially through these trying times. So if you would like to support me on Patreon or check out one of my books, have a look for my name on Amazon. You can join me on YouTube with the join button. You can also, there's a PayPal donate button in the description. For anybody that is feeling a bit flush, of course you can super chat. That's also appreciated. So that's a good opportunity. Who is Kevin Churko then? What has he done? Oh, okay. So I've just seen Churko on there, and I've assumed that it was Kane Churko, but I assume the writing is Kevin Churko. Disturbed, Five Finger Death Punch, Michael Bolton, Celine Dion, Ringo Starr, Slash, Five Finger Papa Roach. He's done a few things. I'll give him that. I can imagine Zach having to record this guitar solo and saying, "Look, do you want to just get Slash in for this?" Oh, there you go. A slide into a bend. Better than anything Slash ever played. I feel bad for Zach because obviously he plays on this track, right? You know, the great legacy of incredible songs that Zach has been part of recording. But no matter how good all of his best songs are, this one still exists. I wish you weren't Ozzy. I wish you'd go away. Cheese images, yeah. This is bad. Fucking ballads, no thank. Let's hope. I know Trapdoor's a rock song, so. Good point, Simon. Yeah, it's one of those people will listen to it and Zach, do you remember when you played on Here For You? He's like, what do you mean? Listen to it. That's clearly not me. Black Label's back. That's basic. Oh, I don't know why I shouted. That's basically Counterfeit God, the Black Label song, Counterfeit God. That is just Counterfeit God. God, no, worship me. Vocal harmony, yep. Like that melody, very Ozzy. The guitar melody, I mean. The place he should be tuned, Robert. Good question. Does he have a writing credit on here for you? Probably. Yeah, he's got a writing credit on that. Oh, fucking hell. Right. So there's only 2 songs on this album that Zach doesn't have writing credit on. One of them is Trapdoor, the song we're about to listen to. And the only other song that Zach doesn't have a writing credit on this album is The Almighty Dollar. Which makes sense, to be fair, because the Almighty Dollar doesn't sound very... It's not an Aussie song, is it? It's a cool song. I do like it, but... Probably knowing Zach, the problem with a chord like that is he's tuned so low, it's less about the notes that he's playing and more about the overall sort of effect of it, which is just noise. If memory serves me correct, on Counterfeit God, he's tuned to drop G. And because it's that low, when he plays those 3-note chugs, you don't really hear a note, you hear a chug, 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 chug. It now stays welcome. I like this song. I do like this song. I like that. That was... I don't agree, Robert. I don't agree at all, actually. It's an Aussie album. Every song should have a guitar solo on it, and there are songs on this album that don't have guitar solos. So there could be more guitar solos on this album, and there's an offensive amount of keyboard solos on the album. 2. This is another one that Zach has no writing credit on. Could that possibly be pitch shifted vocals in Pro Tools? Living at the trapdoor. I'm going to dig out those 2 bonus tracks on YouTube now, because I do want to listen to them, especially as Doug says that he felt that they were the best So one of them was called I Can't Save You. Wow, can't find it. I've got it on YouTube. And the other one was called Nightmare. And then the final one, there was another one that was an iTunes special called Love to Hate. So I've got these 3 songs. Nightmare. I'm not listening to the live versions. Marilyn Manson meets Ozzy, yeah. The kids' TV show. I remember that's how the album ends as well. Okay. That's me. So that's all of Black Rain. I am gonna listen to the songs on YouTube for the bonus ones. But what I have to do is I have to talk about this album because that is the album as it was presented when you bought this on CD or however you purchased albums back in 2007. That is how you received the album. Okay. There are 2 ballads on the album. Black Rain is a sort of half ballad. It's slow, but yeah. Lay Your World on Me and Here for You were both ballads, and they shouldn't have been there. I didn't like them. They upset me, but they were there. You could have cut them off the album, and the album still probably would have been longer than Diary of a Madman. So they didn't need to be there, but they were there, and Ozzy likes those type of things. So for that reason alone, it's not the best Ozzy album. Outside of that, it's very, very different to the Ozzy albums before. It's probably a little bit too Black Label Society, and I understand that, but it's not Black Label Society enough for it to be Black Label Society. It's nowhere near as good as Black Label Society because it's like it takes all of the Black Label Society DNA, but then adds some more modern electronic influences to it, and I don't like that. I don't like it. When the riffs are good, they're good. Seriously, when the riffs are good on this, Countdown's Begun, there were some good riffs on that. I Don't Want to Stop, there's some good riffs on that. 11 Silver was good. Civilize the Universe was good. Yeah, like all in all, musically, I think there's some good stuff on there. But it's never going to be one of Ozzy's best albums. Not a chance. It's not as bad as I remember it as, being completely honest with you. I always remembered when I was younger that I loved The Almighty Dollar, but I was also very aware of the fact that it was because of the chorus. When the song came on, I was a little bit embarrassed because I remembered how cheesy that verse is. And I think that's the thing that stops it from being a great album. A great song. And it's got a weird middle section in it. And it's got a terrible keyboard solo. So that's a shame. I do still think that the chorus on The Almighty Dollar is the best thing that this album has to offer in terms of musical highlights. Outside of that, was it Civilized Universe or Countdown's Begun? One of the two of those. That was very Black Label, and I kind of dug that. I did dig that. But all in all, I mean, obviously it's better than Ordinary Man. The question is it better than Bark at the Moon? And that's a really difficult question, because although Bark at the Moon only has one or two good songs on it, this has more good songs, I think. Are any of the songs on this as good as the song Bark at the Moon? Is this album as important as Bark at the Moon? And I lean towards no. I just lean towards no. I can't really quantify why. It's definitely Ozzy, Prince of Darkness Ozzy, but it's maybe a little bit too Black Label. It's not a great album, but it's not a bad album. I'll give it that. It's not a bad album. I do think that Ordinary Man, his latest album, is a bad album. This is not a bad album. It's just not really... Again, it all comes down to that idea of when I say to you, I'm going to list off the Ozzy albums for you to listen to in the order you should listen to. If you've never heard Ozzy Osbourne, you don't need this album. You literally don't need this album. It's not contributing anything. It's definitely not contributing anything. So based on that, it would definitely fall below Bark at the Moon, I think. I think there's more reason to listen to Bark at the Moon than this, because Bark at the Moon is a snapshot of Ozzy's history. Whereas this doesn't really add anything to the canon of Ozzy, if you like. But it is better than Ordinary Man. So based on that, my current order for people keeping score: Diary of a Madman, Osmosis, No More Tears, Blizzard of Oz, Down to Earth, No Rest for the Wicked, The Ultimate Sin, Bark at the Moon, Black Rain, Ordinary Man. We've only got one more album to add to this. I know that Scream, the next album, is better than this. It may be better than Bark at the Moon. I doubt it, but that gives you an idea. Right, so with that done, I'm going to load these bonus songs up on YouTube. I'm going to start with the song Nightmare. I have listed these all in the comments. They've all been uploaded by a gentleman by the name of Cool Devil. And I should probably just check. Yeah, making sure that fake versions of the songs or whatever. So I'm going to listen to Nightmare. I'm going to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Definitely some songs going on my compilation album, yeah. If you're still online, Doug, can you confirm that this is the song? It's a bit musically basic. Okay, big chorus. Don't like the mix of the vocal harmony on that. Thanks for tuning in, Doug. Yeah, talk soon, brother. Oh yeah, Back on Earth from the compilation album. I remember that. It's from the Ozman Cometh, wasn't it? I'm confident I could put Back on Earth on and sing it still. Don't really rate this. Bit generic. Zach recycling licks. This isn't a B-side. This could have been on the record. I don't hate it. Musically a bit simple, but okay, I'm going to stop that one. Right, next up we have I Can't Save You. This was the other bonus track that was available. Where was this available? Japanese release. So this had I Can't Save You a Nightmare. This was unique to the Japanese version. I Can't Save You. The other one was available on the iTunes one. Let me just check the comments on this. Darkness. Find in Denmark. Why isn't it on an album? What album? Okay. So I Can't Save You. Let's check this out. Okay. Yeah, I like this. The mix on that is a little bit better than a lot of Black Rain. The vocals are present. Yeah, you would happily knock the two ballads off the album to put both of these on, wouldn't you? Yeah, I agree with you on that, Joe. Nice vocal harmony on that. It gives it a major quality. All right, that'll do. Fine, cool. Yeah. Now I'm really interested by this final one, Love to Hate. So this was a pre-order. If you pre-ordered the album on iTunes, it came with the song Love to Hate. Just want to look through the comments on this. Lots of people remember this song and they enjoyed it. Because I was sort of thinking, like, in terms of, priority of quality of songs, you put a lot of effort into a Japanese bonus track because the Japanese market is huge, right? I don't know how much effort you put into the pre-order track for iTunes. I guess at the time in 2007, iTunes was probably a very big market. So this has the potential to be of an important song. Here we go. This sounds like every band I ever played in when I was 15. Not the worst. Thanks for tuning in, Robert. I'll catch up with you on the next stream. Make sure everyone's subscribed to my YouTube because I'm making events for these now. This song's not that bad. I don't mind this. Bassline there's kind of cool. Very Bob Daisley. That was about where I enjoyed that. Very Zach. There's that bassline. Very cool. That'll do. I liked that. I did. I thought that was good. I actually think that was probably the best of the 3 bonus tracks. There we have it, guys. That is the end of my Black Rain stream. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun doing that. That was actually... Joe, you are no longer a moderator. Thank you very much for your super chat. It's very much appreciated. These are tough times. I don't want to... I hate the idea of saying these are tough times, especially for musicians. It's not... Everybody's having a fucking tough time right now. I think just musicians were hit sooner by it. And certainly over here now, where all of the bars and restaurants and clubs, all that, they've all been closed now. So people won't be gigging. Musicians are having it hard right now. So yeah, while I'm obviously going to have to do the self-promotion thing and point you in the direction of the ways you can support my channel, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about me nearly as much as you should worry about yourself right now. Have spare dollars and you want to support content creators, I always encourage that. I think it's a great thing to do because you don't want us to go away. And if we do go away, well, we'll just keep doing it anyway because it's not going away, as Ozzy said. Yeah, but make sure you're looking after yourself. Make sure you're looking after your family. Make sure you're looking after your friends. If possible, go out into your local community. We're currently doing that here. Me and my wife are trying to get a list of local people that are self-isolating and struggle to, get the things they need. Old age pensioners. Because there are a fair amount of those around us, and we're doing our best to see if there's ways that we can help them and get them the things that they need. Look out for your community. Look out for people around you. And then... everyone around you is safe. Then look out for your guitar community. So, on the note of that, big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. It means a lot, of course. Link is in the description if you'd like to check me out on Patreon. That's always appreciated. Gets you into my private Facebook group. And if you're going to be isolating a lot, well, where's a better place to be? Get into my Facebook group. It's a lot of fun. We're always talking music in there. And yeah, I love engaging with people in there as well as on the stream. Link in the description. You can support me for as little as $1. There's also a join button for YouTube. You can join my YouTube VIPs. You can also, there's a PayPal link in the comments. And finally, my books. I mean, I don't think anybody is buying, I don't think anyone's buying books right now. But if you could, that would be awesome. Because, yeah, mouths to feed, pensioners to look after. Communities to look after and all of that good stuff. But in the grand scheme of things, I just want to stress this. In the grand scheme of things, guys, currently, I'm okay. I know that a lot of my friends have had 99% of their income wiped out like that. It's just gone, okay? I'm not in that position. I'm okay at the moment. I've still got transcription work. I've still got a Patreon that's bringing in a little bit of money. My books are selling. I don't know how much until I get my royalties in a couple of weeks. We'll see how that goes. As it currently stands, I'm all right. So if there are other content creators that you want to support, I do encourage that. Do it because everyone is having a hard time right now. Yeah, but if you do want to support me as well, that's also appreciated. So, thank you very much for everyone getting involved. Thank you very much, Joe, for your input today. I really, actually, you more so than anyone, I really appreciate you coming back, especially after the last one. Enjoyed hanging out with you again, man. Henrik, thank you very much for tuning in. Justice 100, we are all in this together, guys. And as Zero says, yeah, that's awesome to hear. Wish there was more of that around here. There are some reasonably good people around in the world. You just sometimes need to look a little bit harder than you'd like to find them. It probably wouldn't normally be me either, but my wife is the best person. So she, it's the type of thing that I would think about doing and then not actually do. Whereas she would be she's much more proactive about, right, I'm going to write some notes up. I'm going to post them through vulnerable neighbours' doors, give them our phone number if there's anything that they need. Are you okay to help them out? And I'm like, yes, that's very good of you. You're a good person. I'm happy to do that. It'd be my pleasure to help people in the community. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Had a lot of fun. And I will be back in a few days for another stream. Much love, and bye, fuckers. This isn't the Guitar Souls. I need to upload the Guitar Souls. I'll do that now. Bye.